Do you like basketball? Basketball, no. I like, but I'm not good at. Yes, I'm not.
Me too.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the State of the League podcast, Patreon edition, the only NBA podcast that gets deja vu when they record their intro. Whoa, I feel like we've been here before. I feel like we've done this before. I'm your host, Jack, aka Jokic Joestar. With me, as always, the world famous Pablo Escobar. Pablo, how are you feeling today?
Wait a second. Are you at a different mic?
I don't think so.
Wait, it sounds different. Oh, do you have the echo cancellation setting on?
Yeah, I cleared a ton of my I cleared like all my cookies. Yes, the echo and the automatically adjust is on. I turned both of those off now. Does it
Okay,
sound
now it sounds normal.
Okay. Well, we're sticking with it. Guys, comment down below if you thought the beginning audio sounded better or worse from Jack, aka Jokic Joestar, and also comment down below what
God.
on the Patreon trailer on YouTube. If you're a patron, don't stoop to that level. That's a ridiculous, buffoonish thing to comment. But if you're on the YouTube for free, go ahead and type that in the comments for us. How you doing today?
Welcome back to the prodigal son, Augusto Dabos. He has rejoined the Patreon.
Shout out to Augustos for getting a job again, I would assume. Or robbing somebody. That's the thing. People are always like, I can't afford the Patreon, and I'm like, that's totally okay. It shows a real lack of initiative though, in terms of like violent crimes that you could profit off of. And there's a lot of people that are like, well, you could make more money off of like property crimes that don't really harm anybody. But I'm like, no. I want blood money coming through the Patreon. That's the thing. So if you could attack somebody, get their personal petty cash, it's really $5. It's not that much. And then put that into the Patreon. That's the ideal way to do it. So shout out to Augusto Dabos for that. And I'm looking forward to Augusto August in January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Like 8 months, 7 months at this point.
Well, there's the really good Twitch rant by that girl from years ago who was telling people like how that it's only $5 and how much they suck for not subscribing. She said I can't remember everything she said, but she said it in a good way. So watch her rant, everybody, and then picture us saying that to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and picture us as like pretty girls also. And then we get it. I mean, girls, so easy. It's so easy to be a woman is the thing, and so it's like if you imagine yourself as a girl, you're kind of manifesting like an easier life.
Yeah, because the trade-off, they don't get to walk around at night, but they get to have sex with the moon and control the tides, right?
Are you kidding me? I did not know about the
I've
moon
heard
part.
that.
Holy shit.
I've heard that. Yep.
Yo, yeah, you can't like if you're ever alone in a room with a man, you're automatically like put into panic mode by default, but you do get access to like a litany of forest spirits that can accomplish different like, mundane spells. There's not like a ton of like super high level magic going on there. You kind of have to climb up the ladder a little bit to stuff that you don't just get by default being a woman. But there's people, there's spirits that could like make the trees dance and wave at you. There's spirits that they could help like birds hang up your clothes and stuff. It's pretty cool.
I'm often in panic mode already when there's another human in the room.
Hey, another human in the room. I'm in sicko mode, baby.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what sicko mode consists of. You mosh, I guess.
He really That didn't stick to him, did it? The Astro World thing?
Well,
That
it's
was a big
because
deal
all those
for a little
people
bit.
died at the concert, so he was like, this can't really be my identity, and it can't be my alter ego. It's yeah.
Yeah, and not too many people posting my experience at Astro World because it's like you need a ghostwriter for that.
Yeah, I have Astro World on CD. Somebody got it for me. I've never
You're
opened it.
demonic for that.
I never. It's plastic wrapped still because I was always like, it'll probably be worth something to somebody someday. And like there's some songs on there that are good. I don't condone. I mean, another thing I gather from it is that it wasn't necessarily like it's his fault for not believing fans screaming that somebody's trapped under the crowd or whatever.
Thief in the night.
Fiend, 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 fiend. And that's not on there, but it's also like it's everybody. It's the fault of the crowd for not understanding. Like, if someone like you need to pick them up, or everyone is gonna step on them.
I've never been to. Well, no, I have, but I've only ever been to a free Smash Mouth concert. That's my only concert. I'm not into live music.
Me neither. I've never ever understood. Like, it's fun. It's one thing if it's like a free concert or whatever, or if it's like a low key thing, or if you love the band, I suppose. But I've never understood like the appeal of, especially post Ticketmaster, like a couple $100 just to get in the door. And it's like annoying. It's a crowd scene where everybody's like being I don't know. I don't like crowds that much is another problem.
Yeah, the crowds, and they always sound worse. But yeah, it's crazy how much money people spend on that. Because I saw there's a meme that people will be like, my $300 on the stage doing this, and one of them I saw my $900 fighting the rain, and it was for Twice. And hey, if you're gonna spend $900 on a concert, now Twice, now that's a performance. I stand Geo, my bias wrecker, or I bias Geo, and Nyan is my bias wrecker. For anybody curious, I saw some speculation that I was a Daeon guy. No, but I mean I like them all, to be honest. But yeah, the $900 though is like
$900 would
a lot of places.
Yeah, like that's insane. Did you see there was a compilation video of like the girl made it herself where she was like there's a part in the Eras tour of Taylor Swift where Taylor goes, "You're kind of making me feel like I'm the man," or something like that. Like it's like a spoken phrase before she goes into whatever song she has after. I assume it's Aloe Black's "The Man," where it's like you could tell everybody. But so this girl, she went to like 26 Taylor Swift Eras concerts, and she recorded herself singing along with that phrase at every single one. And it was just like, if you like, $900 is a ton of money to spend on a concert. But we've transcended at that point. Like I think her dad had gotten a part-time job at like a Hilton hotel just so that she could have access to like the family discounts while she was following Taylor Swift around like the Grateful Dead.
Imagine doing that for stand-up comedy. Where it's just the same routine over and over.
And you're hanging out outside after every show smoking cigarettes with the guy.
And you're laughing at the same punchline every time. It's crazy.
Yeah. I don't know. We just don't. If you get it, you get it. We just don't have the passion for the musical arts that way. We're podcast guys.
People are built different. People are built different. A lot of people going to the Eras tour, they probably would not be interested in spending any thought on how their Nen ability would work and which category they probably belong to.
Do you know yours?
No, I mean I could come up with a lot of them pretty easily, but
I've been cooking one because I took a test and it told me I'm a conjurer, and that's one that like I hadn't necessarily thought of like an ability for yet. And I got
emitter.
Oh, well, that's not terrible. It's just I don't feel like
okay.
there's not that many like emitters in the show to give like good context to what it could be.
It's hard to tell the difference between emitter and conjurer because a lot of guys, like the gorilla guy, the guy who creates gorillas,
Mm-hmm.
and he's not a conjurer; he's an emitter.
Oh, well, and that's the other part is that like you don't like there's the affinity thing of it all, like the wheel where as you go around the wheel you get less and less efficient with the different categories. So I guess emitter and conjurer are probably pretty close by because that gorilla guy, he's got like
I think they're opposites.
Oh, well then he's got
emitter is closer to manipulator and enhancer, I believe. But my understanding is I think the difference is conjurers create real objects versus emitters are creating nen objects. But like, is that better? I don't know. Like, I guess the shovel Kurapika has is a real shovel and not made out of nen. But is that an advantage? I don't know. Maybe for like medicine.
Yeah, that's true. Medicine, because there's a lot of applications that like aren't necessarily for fighting. A lot of hunters don't spend their entire time fighting and everything, and so yeah. Shout out to I really liked the tiger guy, like the heavy metal tiger guy who Morel defeats. His ability of having like an MP3 player. I thought that'd be cool, and like maybe like you get like different songs and they give you different abilities or something.
I did see a criticism yesterday on TikTok in a comment section that I do think is valid, where it's like, why do so many Nen abilities revolve around stealing other Nen abilities and gaining other people's Nen abilities?
Well, it's because like if you think about it, in the real world, that is probably what like 30% of people would do. It's just like, well, I'm just gonna make it so I could take other people's stuff.
I can purchase yours from you in exchange for money. I acquire your Nen ability. But like Crollo can steal abilities.
Mm-hmm.
Lion guy has if you owe him a favor, and then a bunch of the people, a bunch of the like princes and whatever in the succession where they all have like different versions of it. Sometimes the powers are I like it, but it's just some of them are so convoluted.
Yeah. They're very convoluted for like the universe where like if I'm expecting that everyone is kind of making up their own ability, I don't really think that many people would think of abilities so convoluted. Whereas like in JoJo's the laws of the universe, everybody just gets a power that works funky. If you're an antagonist, you have a power that has like 10 layers and it like rewinds time and changes reality and all that shit. But for the like the base of the universe to be like everyone invents their own thing, and I don't know, this guy who just learned about Nen is like doing quantum physics to create his Nen ability or something. I'm like, oh damn, okay.
See, I just think it's harder to have good fights when the ability is so convoluted. I feel like it's got to be clean to like actually interact with all the rest of the powers in the world in a clean way. Because sometimes, it's just weird.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Gojo's powers are a great example of, like, very strong, and also mildly complex, but in terms of, like, how they're put into use, he could push stuff away, he could pull stuff closer, or he could do it at the same time. And, that's really the like, what he does.
I have a problem with him, though, with
okay,
Gege,
let's get it. Let's complain, baby.
Because he makes things too convoluted also. How much time do they spend telling us because he was born with the
That's the
eyes?
only reason he could use Limitless is because he has the 6 eyes.
Well, he has the 6 eyes, and he's born with the Limitless technique, and so he has infinite cursed energy, right? Like, it approaches, like, he's so efficient that it's like he's not using cursed energy at all. So he can have his technique on permanently. And then later on, they're like, well, Not when he's like trying really hard. It's actually not like that. Like only when he's using it normally.
God damn. You just want Gojo. Like, you're approaching this from an angle of, like, well, Gojo should win, and so these flaws are bad. But, like,
Well, no, just don't tell me he has infinite energy over
they never
and
said
over.
that. They just said he's
They
incredibly efficient. But if he has to spam domain expansion 4 times and he suffered fucking brain damage because of it, then maybe his efficiency is going to start to falter. I don't know.
And don't call the healing reverse curse technique.
That's a bad
And
name.
Don't have domain expansion and then domain amplification being just the surrounding your arm, just surrounding yourself with the energy. Yeah, just call it CA or CE.
CA.
He put the CE around his fist.
He put domain armor on his fist. Yeah. I will say there is some cool stuff in there where it's like, even if you're fodder in the universe, I like the different schools of like Falling Blossom or whatever, or like Hollow Wicker Basket, where there's like people have developed counters to domains over the years, even if you're like not strong enough to have your own domain expansion. I thought that was like it was neat.
Yeah, and just I admire simplicity in power systems, and so
Okay.
I like the devil fruit stuff, and yeah, there's a lot of good systems out there, and JJK there's a lot of pros, but the convolutedness is a negative to me.
Okay. There's so many like simple ones in JJK though, I feel like most of them, Boogie Woogie, oh, it's so simple, incredible.
Yeah, the cursed, like innate curse techniques are usually pretty simple, except
Yeah.
for some of them are like impossible for me to understand when reading. Like the frames one, the guy who moves in frames, and I honestly I still don't fully get what was going on there.
12 frames per second. If you over the next second, you have to make 12 movements, and if you don't, you freeze, and I get to beat your ass. Pretty much. All right. You want to do the Thunder?
I suppose.
Hey, all right. Thunder starting 5. What would their innate curse techniques be? That would be tough. Chet. Who's a tall person? Chet, Gojo literally has Limitless. There we go. Although Shay kind of does, the way he like bumps people off him and stuff. He activates it right when he gets into the mid range.
Well, he's just so consistent. So.
Well, I low key he gets like the brand of like, oh, Mr. Consistency. He never tries or anything. He's always chilling at 31 points at the end of the game. This Knicks game was kind of crazy. Let me timestamp this bitch real quick. All right. So, Thunder 3-1 in their last 4, beat the Knicks twice and the Celtics, and then they lost to the Cavs. So the Cavs lost. We talked about from the Cavs' perspective. Do you have any big thoughts on it from the Thunder's point of view?
It was just crazy how much offense Shea was driving for them in the fourth quarter. Like I think literally, if not literally 100%, it would have been like 98% of their offensive possessions were directly linked to him. It's either the ball always starts with him, and he's either scoring or physically forcing people out of place to open up shots for his teammates. It's an incredible burden, and it's crazy how deep this team is, but how important he is to it. Like they're simultaneously so talented but so dependent on him.
Yeah, they're very talented in the sense that anybody but him really could go down, and they have the talent through like defense and everybody else just kind of being capable to survive any kind of injury. Obviously, they've thrived in the absence of Chet Holmgren. Caruso's been in and out of the lineup. Hartenstein the same way. J-Dub going out would be tough, but I think they could at least remain like a solid, competent basketball team. So very talented in that regard, but when he sits down, it's like, yo, can anybody dribble here? Can anybody dribble here? And oftentimes the answer is no. Like, really, when Hartenstein came back, I harped a lot on the him and J-Dub pick and roll being like a really good action for them to generate just advantages on the floor, like something they could continually come back to. Lately, it seemed like the only thing they can even throw out when Shea is off the floor. It's like really the only way they have to like get the defense into rotation and stuff, and so that's tough. AJ Mitchell. Oh, I forgot to even write that down in my notes. That sucks because he's one of the guys that really capable bench creator. All right, and that was the trailer for this week's Patreon episode of the State of the League podcast. You can go to patreon.com/stateoftheleague to find this episode, plus every other one we've ever put up on there. Join a Discord and get access to a bunch of different fun perks, as well as supporting me, Jack, Jokic Joestar, as well as Pablo Escobar financially. So thank you very much. Go check that out, please, and thank you.